was a tragedy few can forget. On August 29, 2005, in the midst of Hurricane Katrina's devastation, water flooded into St. Rita's nursing home outside New Orleans, drowning 35 residents.
Katrina was a wake-up call for all of us, and, really taught us some lessons that we needed to learn from.
That was nearly 7 years ago, but today it's not clear all those lessons have been learned. According to a report conducted by the Inspector General of the Department of Health and Human Services, serious gaps remain in nursing homes' emergency plans, and many remain woefully unprepared to protect their residents in disasters.
I think this is an iterative improvement process working with the nursing homes. I think when we looked at the gaps, we see those as opportunities that, as we said in our response, we're working to address.
On the surface from the report, things appeared to be in good shape. 92% of the nation's 16,000 nursing homes met federal regulations for emergency planning. But a different story emerged when inspectors showed up for site visits at 24 selected homes in disaster-prone areas. 23 of those had no emergency plan for handling a resident's illness or death during an evacuation. 22 had no plans for replacing staff members unable to report for work.
I think some of the most concerning gaps are around sort of staffing plans after preparedness.
Transportation was another Achilles heel. None of the 24 homes had a plan for moving food and water for evacuated residents. More than 3/4 had no plan for transporting wheelchairs or similar equipment. But Tim Graves, whose Texas Healthcare Association represents about 500 nursing homes and assisted living facilities, takes issue with the report. He says nursing homes have made significant improvements in their disaster plans since Hurricane Katrina, and he points to preparations for 2008's Hurricane Gustav to make his point.
In that case, 93 nursing homes evacuated 8,000 patients with no injuries. So folks know what they're doing, and the details and the statistics may not always match up with what really is working in the real world.
The federal government is looking into whether additional mandatory regulations are needed to enforce current guidelines. In the meantime, Dr. Conway urges everyone who has a loved one in a home to ask specific questions and insist on answers.
We would really encourage family and caregivers to ask those questions, to really push the nursing homes to give them specific information about what they plan to do in the event of an emergency.
Kelly Daschle, Associated Press.